Hello, everyone. I hope that you are well. We're going to take a look at the Circle of Life Tarot. And the reason that I have this video is because when I was first starting my tarot collection, I had a person that I really respected tell me, well, you need a circle deck in your collection. So I bought that little square box that you saw in that first picture. I bought that deck, and that was my circle deck. I was a little disappointed that it came in a square box, but that was my circle deck for my collection. Now, that deck sat in my collection for several years, and I never really took it out. I never used it, but I do love the artwork of this deck, and I do think that it's rather intuitive. It's Rider Waite based, but I think that there's also a learning curve with this deck. Some of the art is really spectacular and really makes you reflect on what's in the picture, which is, I'm sure, what we're all looking for in a deck. But what happened was I got a deck from eBay, a deck that I'd been looking for a very long time, and I was really excited because I found it in the, quote, pocket version, unquote. So, silly me, and this is on me, I didn't do the research ahead of time. But, a lot of decks have pocket versions, and I thought, well, the pocket versions are usually a little cheaper, and I'd wanted this deck because it's the Pacific Northwest deck, and I live in the Pacific Northwest, and so the things in that deck were kind of near and dear to my heart, even though I didn't feel like it was really going to be an everyday reader for me or anything, but I'd wanted the deck for a while. And when I found the pocket edition at a reasonable price, it wasn't super cheap. This was used on eBay, and I think I paid like $25 for it, which I thought was good since it's out of print. So I got the deck, and you guys probably already guessed it. This deck was a fake. So I kind of wanted to talk about that because when I started going through my cards, because I was so angry when I got this fake deck that I opened up all my collection spots where I keep my cards, and I found that first circle deck that I bought so many years ago, and I looked at it and I thought, what, this is a knockoff. I think it is a knockoff. I'll probably keep it just because it's been in my collection for a long time, and I like this deck, and it's the pictures on it aren't blurry, which is one of the knockoff things that I just don't like, is that the pictures are often blurry, and it does such an injustice to the artwork. And still, if you buy a knockoff deck, it's an injustice, but this was not done on purpose. I had no idea that I was getting a knockoff, so I wanted to address that. I'm sure other people have talked about it too, but y'all, I was duped. I got that knockoff deck. I was so excited. When I opened it, I knew right away, because it was blurry and there was a barcode for the little white book. And I trusted the seller on eBay, when they said this is a pocket edition, and they were saying it's used, but it's in really good shape. And so I started doing some research on it, and of course, it doesn't come in a pocket edition, and this indeed was not a pocket edition. It was rather a knockoff. So, y'all be careful out there. I think if I had paid a little more attention, I would have known, and now I'm looking for these things. So you're going to know if your deck's a knockoff if it doesn't have a little white book. That's a big tell sign. If it comes in a tuck box that's really cheap, if the price is too good to be true, and if they say it's a pocket-sized deck and you don't know for sure that deck had a pocket-sized deck, that would be a really good reason to suspect that you have a fake. So the bigger deck is the original real deck. The guidebook in there is it's lacking somewhat, in my opinion, because the images are not your typical images, as I was hoping for a little better explanation of some of the images, but I think studying them, they're pretty self-explanatory. I just really like it when the artist talks about why they came up with the art. So this is a comparison of my fake little deck that I bought so many years ago and the real deal. Remember, you are loved.